It is Mary Hyatt, and welcome to the Mary Hyatt Show. Oh my goodness, do I have a good episode for you guys today. We are getting into the triggers surrounding exercise because there is this misconception that if you aren't exercising, you are lazy, you don't have enough willpower, you simply don't have enough self-discipline. And I have found that in my own life and working with my clients that it actually has nothing to do with that whatsoever. In fact, the system itself and how we view exercising is pretty broken, is pretty flawed. And so I want to hop into that today and really begin to help you understand how to create a better relationship with your body and moving your body in a way that eliminates those triggers. So without further ado, let's officially start the show. Hey everyone, it is Mary Hyatt and welcome to the Mary Hyatt Show, episode number 74. Are you punishing yourself with exercise? Oh my goodness. I am really thrilled about today's episode because I have kind of entered into a season of really loving to move my body and go to the gym, and I'm currently working on how to do a handstand, which is a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. It has taken me so many months. I did it for a long time. I had a fall and then I had to actually start again, and that was really challenging. But I'm loving being able to see what my body is capable of doing, and I love feeling strong. And yet this was not my story, not even that long ago. I used to absolutely hate exercise. The word exercise alone was so incredibly triggering for me. It would truly make me want to shut down, to avoid, and I'll talk about that in a little bit. But I want to get into why that is and challenge the way maybe you've been thinking about exercise and moving ourselves into a space where we can begin to partner with our bodies and move them in a way that brings about a lot of joy, a lot of pleasure, and is not surrounded, or I should say motivated by simply weight loss or toning up or trying to get to a certain result. But before we hop into today's content, I want to make sure, if you haven't already joined my 21-day meditation challenge, it is May 22nd when I am recording this podcast episode, and this is day number 1, and we've got, about 180 people in our Facebook group or that have registered, and it is going to be so amazing. So I launched the first guided meditation today, and this is really a beautiful guided meditation series because a lot of people get really overwhelmed with starting a meditation practice. They don't know how to do it. They're afraid they're going to do it wrong. They kind of fall into several mistakes that sabotage their experience. And I am a certified Kundalini yoga instructor, and I have used meditation for years now. And it's one of those tools that is my anchor. And I thought, gosh, this is so intuitive for me. I do this all the time. I do this with my personal one-on-one coaching clients, that I wanted to offer you guys a free resource to be able to start a meditation practice that is simple and sweet. So it's just 10 to 15 minute meditations a day guided by me. And obviously we have this amazing Facebook community of like-minded individuals who are doing this in real time. And so if you happen to be listening to this Wednesday or Thursday of the actual challenge, it's not too late. If you're watching this and listening to this a week from now, it is not too late. Jump in. We're here for 21 days. And the good news is, even if you don't join us in real time, I am going to make this available for you to do anytime. So if you are listening in the year 2020 or 2025, you will still have access to this 21-day meditation challenge that you can literally start whenever you want to. So all you're going to do is go to maryhyatt.com/meditation challenge, and that will give you access to the audios and to the 21 days. And of course, if you're inside the Facebook group, oh my gosh, there's going to be so many extra resources there and just a really beautiful community. Okay, so let's hop into it. Have you ever said to yourself or heard yourself say this out loud? I'll just work it off at the gym tomorrow. Or, man, I'm gonna have to hit the gym after this meal. Or, God, I'm going to have to do some serious cardio after I've just been so bad this week. Or, it's okay, I'll eat that, but I'm going to have to go to the gym tomorrow. How often have you heard yourself say those kinds of phrases? And what I've realized is the way that our modern society approaches exercise is a form of punishment. It's a way of offering ourselves penance for being bad. It attaches some morality onto our behavior, onto our actions. And if we're bad, if we cheat, if we eat something we're not supposed to eat, for example, then we know that we can do penance. We can go to the gym and burn it off, so to speak. It's, to me, a way to kind of anesthetize this guilty feeling that we end up having for indulging, let's say. And it's something that we feel like we have to do in order to relieve that shame, that guilt that we're feeling over this bad behavior, and it becomes punishment. And what's crazy is that what it is doing subconsciously to our minds is that we begin to see our bodies as something that we need to beat into submission, something we must tame, something inadvertently against us. There is this connection or link that we have created where it's sort of like A plus B equals C. And in this scenario, exercise is a good behavior and it is to make up for our bad behavior. So when we're bad, we do penance and we make it right, and then therefore somehow we feel better about ourselves. And what's interesting is what I see, and this is what happened to me in my own personal journey, because we're adults, y'all, we don't like to operate in punishment. This system inherently, this setup doesn't feel good for us. It's like we don't know maybe how to vocalize it or communicate it, but we don't like the way that feels. It feels heavy to be in that place of punishment with our bodies. And so what I have noticed is that how I was, and certainly with my clients, that we actually end up having a massive aversion to exercising. We avoid it. We avoid going to gyms. We sort of avoid anything that looks like or smells like exercise, because in our minds, it equates to punishment. But here's what's tricky, and this is just the complexity of the human mind. It doesn't stop there, because what happens is then we start to, because of our society, because of diet culture, because of the fitness industry and the beauty industry that tells us we need to lose weight, that tells us that we're not good enough, that tells us that we're not enough, and that we need to alter and fix and shift our bodies to earn love, to be acceptable within society. And so then we start adding all of this blame, all of this shame into the equation, and we start feeling like, God, something must be wrong with me that I can't go to the gym, or that I don't want to go to the gym, or that I'm avoiding working out. It must mean that I am lazy, or I don't have enough willpower, or I'm undisciplined, because I should be devoting my life to this. That's the healthy thing. That's the right thing. I'll be loved more if I'm thinner, if I'm toner, if I'm fitter. And so we have this heaviness. Not only do we not want to enter into this punishment dynamic, But then we add in some shame and guilt on top of that because we feel like it's our faults. We feel like we're doing something wrong and we don't have enough willpower to get it to the gym. But I wanted to sort of break this down for a second and break it down into common sense. People avoid pain, period. When it's something that is not in our conscious awareness where we can make an educated choice about it from a place of health, we're just simply going to avoid it. And if we associate exercise with guilt, with punishment, with shame, with abuse, then of course we're going to avoid it. Now, just to complicate this a little bit further, and these are the layers, we're peeling back the layers of the psychology behind why it is that we don't want to go to the gym. We complicate this a little bit more when we realize that previously, and what's encouraged in the fitness industry and the diet culture industry, is that we are taught to only exercise to achieve a result. So it's ingrained in us that we do almost like these plans, these sprints, these short-term, excessive and obsessive kinds of programs to lose weight, to tone up, to get ready for a wedding or for a high school reunion, for example. And these are usually really, really intense. Oftentimes that kind of exercise, there's no break, there's no rest in between your days. Oftentimes it leads to injury. It leads to depletion of the body. And so we associate it with this temporary obsession that is incredibly intense and unpleasant. And I love this quote from Jane Hirschman. She says, "We engage in exercise that aims as weight loss as punishment for not looking like the models in the fashion magazines. We then rebel against that punishment because we also heard to be accepted as we are." So how interesting is that? Needless to say, of course we aren't going to like exercise. There is nothing wrong with you. This is not a willpower issue. Let me say that again. There is nothing wrong with you. And the good news is we can begin to shift this. And I know that some of you have probably seen my posts on Instagram. If you're not following me there, I encourage you to follow me, Mary G. Hyatt. But I post some of the workouts that I do with my trainer. And I have come to a place in my journey of accepting and loving my body that I love to move it. And y'all, this took a lot of time for me. And I want to share with you what I did to begin to shift my relationship to movement, because for probably about 6 years or so, I totally stopped moving my body. I was so angry towards this whole system that I wouldn't even go on a walk, y'all. And of course, because of being in the diet industry, I felt guilty, I felt lazy, but I wasn't about to give in. I was very hell-bent on rebelling. And I didn't recognize at the time, I didn't have the conscious awareness at the time to recognize I wasn't rebelling against moving my body. I was rebelling against the philosophy that I had been taught about what was right when it comes to exercising. And in my world, everything was about a should. Everything was about losing weight. Everything was about punishing. Everything was about guilt. Everything was about beating yourself into submission. Everything was about self-hatred, motivated by self-hatred. I hate myself so much. I'm so gross. I'm so ugly. I'm so disgusting. I'm so fat. I need to go lose weight. I got to go work out. And the reality is that I actually really loved moving my body. But when it was coming from that energy, it took all the joy away for me. I hated it. It ended up being a massive trigger because somewhere deep intuitively I knew, hey, wait a minute, something is off here, and I'm going to avoid that thing that's causing me pain at all costs. I really ended up throwing the baby out with the bathwater, and it took me many, many years to get back to a place of balancing out the way I was approaching moving my body without being so triggered. And so the first shift that I had to make, and I want to encourage you to make as well, is to shift your language. We have to change the word exercise to movement. Now, this is a simple shift, but it does a lot psychologically, because if we can take these trigger words out of our vocabulary, it opens the door for a new experience. It invites us into a different way of relating to moving our bodies, because the word exercise is punishment. The word exercise is excessive, obsession, painful, just from a place of unhealth. So when I decided I'm going to not call it exercise anymore because that's too triggering for me, then I shifted it to movement. How do I want to move today versus I got to go exercise? And there was a long time where I didn't use that word exercise. I mean, I still really consciously choose to use the word movement instead of exercise, because I know that word, even in the health that I'm in today, that word exercise will shut me down. And so I started with the word movement. Now, the second shift that I made is giving myself permission to shift my relationship to moving my body. It was no longer going to be for weight loss or to achieve an appearance result. I decided to relate to this as a celebration of my body. And the reality is we really can move our body for other reasons besides losing weight, besides trying to get the bikini body ready for summer. There are other ways to move our body. We can move our body for pleasure because it simply feels good, for endurance, for strength. We can move our bodies to get some much needed alone time. We can move our bodies to give our mind a break. If we're somebody like me who I'm at my computer a lot, or I'm talking to my personal one-on-one coaching clients a lot on the computer, it's nice to get out and sort of like turn off my mind for a second and get back into my body, into my breath. We can approach movement to help us work through and process tough emotions. I love that. I teach a whole workshop on that. And it could be something as simple as we move our bodies so that we can spend some more time outdoors because we love the outdoors. We can find things that we actually enjoy that have nothing to do with punishment. We can stop rebelling and we can begin to partner with our bodies. This is so powerful when we make this shift. And it's a big shift. Simple as I say it, but it has a massive impact on the state of our health, our state of our mind, our emotional state, and how we look at moving our bodies. So Jane Hersham again says, exercise and movement should be pleasurable. No matter how you choose to move, it should be for the purpose of experiencing and enjoying your body, regardless of your shape. We are entitled to this kind of pleasure. So when we can move this from punishment to pleasure, it's really amazing. And that way, no matter what size your body is, whether you live in a thin body, whether you live in a larger body, whether you feel like, well, I'm somebody who can't move my body, I can't work out, you can begin to ask yourself what you would do for pleasure. And it changes the game. There's so many things that you can do. But I want to slow down here and I want to explore the 4 ways to reconnect to moving your body. If we're going to start doing this in a new way, movement, pleasurable movement, partnering with our bodies, we have to look at 4 ways to practically do this. Now, the first way is going to be understanding your motivation. What up until now has been motivating you to work out? Or what do you think the purpose of working out or moving is? Now, there are some sticking points that will make it miserable for you and will keep you from doing it. And so if moving your body up until this point has only been to lose weight, you only do it while you're dieting, like it's not part of your lifestyle, it's not something that you look at incorporating into your daily routine, it's just something that you do simply to get a result. Is that part of your motivation? Because these are going to be hang-ups to you actually doing it and doing it in a way that gives you back love, that gives you back acceptance, that gives you back mental energy, and allows you to work with your body versus working against your body? Is it to punish yourself for what you ate? Is it to be sexier? Is it to feel better getting into a bathing suit? Because if it's motivated by those details, those results, then eventually you will rebel, because that is diet mentality thinking. It's short term, and it's motivated out of hate, motivated out of thinking you're broken, motivated out of thinking you need fixing. And so if you do not enjoy moving, listen to this. I think this is so powerful. If you do not enjoy moving, you are in it for the wrong reasons. The point of movement is to thrive. The point is to connect with your body. So are you feeling stuck and feeling guilty for not working out? Are you binging on working out and then you stop because you are stuck in that diet mentality way of thinking? Moving our body, this new way of moving our body and reconnecting to our body, is really a lifestyle. It's not something that you achieve. It's not something that sure, like there's moments where for me, oh yeah, I want to be able to do a handstand simply because I'm in my 30s and I think that would be really cool to give my body the opportunity to move in that way. But there's no pressure. It's not like, oh my gosh, I can fail. My lovability isn't on the line, y'all. My worthiness is not on the line. It's just for fun. It's just because that's like, it would be a cool thing to do. And it's a lifestyle. And it looks different every day. And I love the book Intuitive Eating, as you guys know. And in that book, they talk about exercise. And they said exercise should rejuvenate you rather than exhaust or deplete you. It should enhance your mind-body connection. It should alleviate stress rather than amplify stress. And it should provide genuine enjoyment and pleasure. And so this is where you get to check yourself and check your motivation. Understand your motivation. Because like I said, if you don't enjoy moving your body, chances are your motivation is what's keeping you stuck. So it's time to create a new kind of motivation, which I hope will be fueled by pleasure, by experimentation, by fun. Let's just see. Let's see what my body can do. Let's see how much energy I can get. Let's see how strong I can get. That becomes really fun when there's nothing on the line. When my deservability, my lovability, my worthiness is not on the line. All right, so the second way to reconnect to your body is to identify your preferences. What forms of exercise do you enjoy? Or I should say, what kinds of movement do you enjoy? Get to know your preferences, because my guess is in your mind, you're qualifying exercise, you're qualifying movement as getting in the gym. And for me, there were so many years where I had to stop going to the gym. Now, I was moving my body in other ways, but I couldn't go to the gym. It was too triggering for me. It was like there's too much competition. There was too much comparison. It was the old way of thinking for myself, which was about self-hatred and measuring. So outside of that, think about, do you enjoy moving your body alone or with other people? Would you like to, meet up with other people to move your body? Do you enjoy being indoors while you move your body? Or if preferable, do you enjoy moving outside, outdoors? Make it fun. Think about all the different things and all the different ways that you could move your body. And once we separate this from this concept of weight loss or getting a result, it opens up a whole range of different ideas, different preferences. And I know that for me, I had to start, because I was living in a much larger body, I had to start at a geriatric water aerobics class. And I loved it because I knew I couldn't get in the gym. I had never tried a water aerobics class, but I thought, okay, this is going to be fun because it's something different than I normally do. I love water. It gets me in a pool. I'm with people that are like 75 years old plus. So comparison is not going to be prevalent in there. And it'll be something gentle for me that my body could do with a lot of the pain that I was experiencing when I started. So it married that. And then I realized I love to be outdoors. Like I had been only sort of thinking about exercise as these workout plans, and I had to be in the gym and I had to have all these tools. And I was like, I actually just like to walk. Like I love to move my body in nature. I love to go on a hike. And I don't mean like strenuous, go crazy kind of hike. I mean like the flat trail, like the easy one, the green one. I love that. And I had been denying myself that opportunity because I thought that it had to fit in the category of the gym life, being a gym rat. And I wasn't about to do that. So once I opened up the possibility that I could have a preference, it was really beautiful. And I started to think about it as a lifestyle. So it wasn't something that I necessarily was accomplishing. It was like, how do I want to move my body in this moment and allow it to be part of my lifestyle? It allowed my body to come back into balance because it was motivated out of desire, out of pleasure seeking, out of joy seeking. What would be fun? What would be enjoyable? What would I love to do? And chances are for you, there are a couple of things that you love and ways that you love to move your body that maybe you haven't been giving yourself permission to do simply because it's not the quote unquote exercise approved plan, or that you think it's not good enough, or it's not going to be respected, or whatever it is. But when you can open up and give yourself permission to identify your preferences, game changer. It's so freaking awesome. Okay, let's hop into the third way to reconnect to your body. And this is simply to listen to your body. So one of the things that I realized as I was identifying my preferences is that I needed to listen to my body. I needed to connect with my body every day and ask her, what would feel good today? How do I want to move my body today? And honoring my body when it didn't want to move and when it needed rest. Listening to those body cues. Does my body feel like moving today? And I still practice this. So I have a trainer that I go to 3 times a week, and it's wonderful because I'll go in and she says, okay, well, how are you feeling today? How's your body feeling today? And like this week on Monday, I was like, man, I have had a crazy weekend. I am exhausted. My hips are tight. I feel like everything is tight. My back is tight. My shoulders are tight. And so we spent the entire hour just stretching. We didn't do any weightlifting. We didn't do any cardio. We didn't do anything but stretch. And it's because I've learned to prioritize the needs of my body above what I should be doing. And there are some days that I really want to push it. Like yesterday, I went into the gym. I go Monday and Tuesday and Fridays. And I went in on Tuesday, and she said, okay, well, how are you feeling today? What's going on? And I was still a little bit tight. We'd done all that stretching the day before, but I was like, I'm actually like kind of want to push myself today. I feel like I've got a lot of energy in my body, which has been really exciting because I've been in a season where I've had really low energy. And I was like, I kind of want to push it today. And so she had a whole set ready for me to go, and I pushed it, and I felt so strong and so invigorated, and I had so much energy after that. And then later, I took a nap in the afternoon. But I've been in a season of a lot of transition, and I have been doing a lot of gentle movement, a lot of slow walks, a lot of restorative yoga, not crazy workouts. And that is because I have taken off the need to get a result, and I'm able to just listen to my body. What does it need today? What feels like fun? And then assess. Take a look at what you're doing and decide if it's a good fit for you, almost in real time. See what the feedback is that you're getting. So for example, I love to box. It's one of my favorite things to do. But as of yet, I'm kind of open to this shifting, but as of yet, I don't really love biking. Like, it's not one of my favorite things. I wouldn't choose that as a movement that I would say I would prioritize. I don't own a bike. Don't really have an intention of that. it's not my thing. I don't love it. But check in. How does it feel in the moment? Listen to your body in the moment. Does what you're doing, does it give you energy or does it stress you out? Is it bringing up a lot of emotion? Is it emotionally helpful to help you release and process through your emotions? How does it make you feel in the moment? And then the second piece to this, as you're looking at listening to your body, is how does it feel afterwards? How is your energy afterwards? How is your mood afterwards? What's your stress level afterwards? Is it depleting you or is it energizing you? And this is the biggest question that I think that is important to ask yourself when you take away the judgment of what should be. And you can kind of tune into your body and tune into yourself, and you can ask yourself, what kind of movement do I need in order to live my best life? What kind of movement would really accentuate my best freaking life? And again, if you took away the shoulds and took away what it is supposed to look like, and you just think about what your best life would look like. And for me, my best life looks like slow walks and yoga and doing some workouts at the gym. Like, it's a lot of variety. I love variety. And this is going to be different for everybody. Some people only want to do yoga. Some people only want to walk. Some people only want to hike. Some people only want to go to the gym. There's no right or wrong way to move your body if you're listening to you, if you're coming back to you, to your own body's wisdom. And this woman, Carissa King, she is a fat activist. She says, moving my body does not mean a commitment to a gym, but a commitment to myself and honoring my body cues. Not a commitment to the gym, but a commitment to myself and honoring my body cues. What would I do if I could move from a place of love versus trying to earn love? So begin connecting to your body by, number one, understanding your motivation. Number two, identifying your preferences. And then number three, experiment listening to your body and then assess what your body is telling you. Now, the fourth and final way to reconnect to your body, and this is for sure my favorite, and I think the most liberating, is to ditch the rules, you guys. Ditch the freaking rules. What rules am I creating when I think about movement or exercise that aren't even really rules? So identify for yourself, what are your working out rules? A rule could be, it doesn't count unless I sweat. A rule could be, it doesn't count unless I do it for an hour. It doesn't count unless I burn X amount of calories. It doesn't count unless I walk or run X amount of distance. I have to work out 5 times a week in order for it to count. And so check in with your rules that are keeping you limited from moving your body. Like, one of the things that I found in myself is that I would not move because I would think, if I can't do it all the way, it's not good enough. If I can't get out there for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, I might as well just not do anything. Or if I can't actually get in my car and go on a hike, I'm not even going to walk to the end of the street and back. Or I'm stuck at my desk and I don't have time today to actually do like a full workout. But and so then I would just not do anything. But the reality is that when you ditch your rules, you realize that there is so much available to you. And my encouragement is to give yourself some new rules that work in your favor. Anything counts. It always counts. It counts if you stretch. It counts if you simply walk down to the end of the street and back, right? These are my new rules. It counts if it's restorative. It counts if I don't sweat. It counts when all I do is raise my hands up and rotate my neck around, or get up for 2 minutes and just sort of stretch before I sit back down at my computer. It counts if I do it 2 days one week, and 5 days the next week, and 1 day the next week, and 6 days the next week. It counts if it's inconsistent. It counts always. Anytime we can reconnect to our bodies and to move our bodies in a loving way, there is healing in that. It allows us to partner with our bodies. The goal is to listen to your body and move it in a way that it wants to move. So what would it look like for you to come back to movement without the shame, without the judgment, without the fixation that you are broken and that something needs to be fixed? But you did it because it felt good, because it brought you pleasure. And I, honest to God, never thought that I would say that I enjoy moving my body again. I did not like my body. I hated my body. I didn't want to move it. My body was my enemy. It was not my partner. But through this mindset shift and approaching moving in a different way, with more freedom, more allowing, more experimenting, I love it, y'all. I absolutely love it. My body craves it. And it doesn't crave exercise. I move my body no matter if I'm eating anything, what I'm eating. I'm not stuck in diet mentality, so I don't even approach food that way, but I don't even think of it as punishment. I see it as a celebration. I see it as pleasure. I see it as, it'll feel good today. And today I haven't moved my body today. I'm in the middle of the 21-day meditation challenge, and I woke up and I meditated. And I did some work, and I went to a coffee shop and had a delicious muffin and a vanilla latte with almond milk. And I haven't moved my body, and I honestly probably won't. I may or may not go to a yoga class tonight if I feel up for it, if I'm not too exhausted, and it's a gentle yoga class. So if I feel like doing that, I will. But I don't have any judgment on that. It's not better if I work out or worse. I'm listening to my body. And tomorrow, I know that I'm probably going to want to move my body again. And so I get to slow down and listen and do what's right for me. And I don't have goals related to appearance at all anymore. My trainer was asking me, she said, okay, like, you're getting stronger, so what do you want to work on now? Like, what's the goal? Why are you in here? And I had to slow down for a second and pause and go, wow, how interesting. Like, it's not to lose weight. It's not to have better arms or a flatter stomach or thinner thighs. Like, I'm not even thinking on that. So I was like, well, I definitely want to keep working on doing a handstand. And I think it'd be really cool if I could do a pull-up without the band to assist me. Like, I just feel like that's so badass to be able to do that. I'm like, let's do that. Like, let's work on that. Let's do all the things that will condition me to be able to do a pull-up and to do a handstand. And I want to feel the strongest that I can possibly feel. I want to try fun and exciting things. And this is going to change often for me, depending on what my interests are, what intrigues me. And I know that for myself, I don't stick with the same thing very long. I like to change it up. And I have permission to ask myself, what do I want to do? And some days that's yoga. Some days it's a gentle walk in the park. Some days it's heavy weightlifting. Some days it's swimming. And when I take that pressure off and I do what feels good, it enhances my life. It gives back to my life. It enriches my life and makes me feel better. I sleep better. I have more energy. But the motivation is coming from the right place. And I know that you can do the same. So that is my encouragement to you, to think about reconnecting to moving your body in a different way. So y'all, thank you so much for joining me on today's episode. Thank you for opening your mind just a little bit to explore something in a new way. I hope that you will hop on and join me on our 21-day meditation challenge. Again, maryhyatt.com/meditation challenge to sign up. Or if you're listening to this and you can see the show notes, you can simply just click on the link below and that'll make it easy and simple for you. But until next week, I just want to remind you that the purpose of life is to be grateful, to be great, and to be full. Have a beautiful rest of your week, and I will see you soon. Thanks, guys.